And welcome back. It's Craig Hemingway here along with Darrell Markin, the sheriff from Cross Canada Flooring in Moose Jaw, our first guest on Ask the Expert Weekend Edition. Darrell, thanks for being a part of this.
Thank you.
Still to come on the show, we'll tell you about some specials Cross Canada has on right now, why Cross Canada can help you even if you don't live in Moose Jaw, and how you can get your flooring questions answered. But Darrell, let's start with a question right here. If I buy flooring, something goes wrong, how long does my warranty last?
Well, Craig, it all depends. So when you come into a store, whether it's Cross Canada or any retailer, you've picked a carpet, you've done the deal, and you paid for it, and it's laying nicely on your floor. And so Greg, we're specifically talking about carpet. So yesterday, for example, the carpet rep came in, and I asked him, I said, how many claims have you had, like carpet claims? And he said, well, watch how you word that question to me. He says, I've had 15 calls about potential problems with my carpet.
And over what kind of period of time was that?
That was 1 year. So he's had 15 potential claims on his carpet. He came back to me and he said, but you got to remember, Darrell, 3 of them were actually legitimate claims. So I kind of said, well, what were they? He said, one claim was because it was under spec. So maybe you've gone out and you've bought a 55-ounce carpet and it's got in there and you look at it and he said, you talk to your better half, your significant other, and you say, I don't think that's the carpet we bought, right? I think it's lighter and it's this and it's that, but it's not the 55-ounce that I felt that I knew I was buying. So that, Craig, is a potential claim. So you can go to your retailer and say, listen, I have a problem, I think, with my carpet. It's under spec. So the process is we call the rep of wherever you bought the carpet. He comes, looks at it, takes pictures. Sometimes it's a self-claim process where you take the pictures, you do all the work actually, send them to the manufacturer, they come back, and sure enough, this particular carpet was under spec. Carpet got replaced. Now, when people come in, they'll come after 2 years. And this is more often than not. People will come into the store 2 years later and say, listen, I bought carpet from you and it's wore right out, right? And you're thinking, oh no, well, what did you buy? Who knows? I said, do you have your receipt? Do you have anything? No, I don't have any of that stuff, but I bought it here. And you're like, well, it's going to take me a while because I don't remember because it's a couple years old or 3 years old. And so we got to kind of find it. So all of a sudden, the process has started, but is it a claim? Is it a legitimate claim? And so you find all the information. So the first question you'll ask the customer, have you ever got it professionally cleaned? And they go, what do you mean? I've been to, for example, the local supermarket and got one of them big red machines and I did it myself. Unfortunately, that's not professionally cleaned. Professionally cleaned is using heat extraction. A truck-mounted unit comes to your door, hoses come out, a big machine starts up, and they blow and they put hot water onto the carpet. That's actual cleaning, right? So you ask them that. No, haven't done that. Another question is, do you vacuum it? You know what? Maybe once a week at the most. So if we can imagine, if we go back and we say, I bought a 2014 F-150 white truck, and you come back to the local dealership and you say to him, listen, the paint's coming off, it's all scratched up, and he looks at it, have you ever washed it? And you go, no, never washed it. Okay, I forgot to tell you also, it's got a real big ticking noise in the engine. Oh, sure. He looks up his records. So in 3 years, you've never washed this vehicle and you never got an oil change, but you expect the dealership to take that vehicle back and say, hey, I need a new one. It's not going to happen. And you know what? Your flooring is the exact same thing. Not going to happen.
Yeah, and see, as a consumer, I have never asked that question when I've bought flooring. What do I need to do to keep care of it? You think in your head, what you just explained.
Yeah.
I got to vacuum it, and I'll probably rent a carpet cleaner here or there. And that's about it. You aren't told, you need to look after it, but also those are the questions you need to ask.
Absolutely. So it's like anything, especially buying your carpet. It's an investment. It's no different buying your leather couch or whatever. You're going to clean it, make sure blue jean marks don't come. Carpet's the same way. We're going to professionally clean it. They're hoping, 12 months after you bought it, but more likely 18 months you have it clean, right? And then you're going to do it again 18 months after that, get it cleaned again. Because what happens is the dirt gets in there and the real tiny particles get in there. And as you wear on it and hide your traffic, it beats the carpet up. And so if you never clean it, more and more dirt gets in there, dirties the carpet out. Everything like that happens, but you've actually never wore it out. You dirtied it out.
So really, you buy flooring that's, say, 10, 15-year warranty. It's really maybe a year unless you're doing every single thing you need to do.
Right.
And you need to know those things. So how do we know those things?
Well, you know what? When you come in, there's at Cross Canada Flooring, we try and put up and give you the information that you need. So we'll give you a sort of a checklist that we'll staple it to your back of your bill, and then you can sort of record all that stuff. And it kind of helps a guy out, right?
Yeah. Interesting. You mentioned the receipt, right? Maybe many people don't have the receipts from their carpet. It's funny how we'll keep a receipt from a $40 blender.
Right.
Right? For probably longer than we might keep it from carpet because we don't think of them in the same way.
Yeah. And we know what? We need to start thinking, because it is a big investment. Now, to put carpet in a basement or whatever, bedrooms, it can push towards $5,000. And a lot of people just take that receipt, put it, in the junk drawer and never think about it again. Never think about the carpet again. We're here to say, listen, we need to get it cleaned. We need to make sure it's vacuumed properly. And maintenance is really important. You'll be amazed at how many people out there, and I'll talk today as they're listening to the program, don't own a vacuum, but have carpet throughout the house, but don't own a vacuum, right? So if that happens, and you have a claim, and the first thing a rep will ask you, can I see the vacuum you're using? And if you don't produce one, probably the chance of that claim being denied, pretty high.
Well, we've alluded to it. You need to treat your flooring like a vehicle. Regular, proper maintenance if you want any hope of being able to make a valid warranty claim if that day ever comes where you're finding it's not quite working out. And Darrell, you mentioned a couple of things for the checklist, the receipt, and knowing those cleaning procedures. A few other things on that checklist too?
Well, on that checklist, I mean, you're going to obviously get it clean. They'd like to have it every 10 months, 12 months, but realistically, it's going to be 18 months, every 18 to 24 months. Put that down where you got it, because if you do have a legitimate claim, they're going to ask for those receipts. And so if you have them, I mean, you've done everything possible. And listen, claims will happen. Carpets will break down. Another part, delaminating, carpet separating from the backing. Happens. And you know what? Most manufacturers are going to take care of that stuff. No problem.
But you need to do your part. And there are a few other things in that checklist. We're actually going to post that for you on the 800 CHB page at discovermoosejaw.com with our Ask the Expert blog post. And we'll have a little more on that in the last segment of our show, which is coming up in a moment. You're listening to Ask the Expert Weekend Edition on 800 CHAB.